Which country has the worst currency?
I'm a billionaire.
Inflation had gone to unprecedented levels, so we ended up abandoning the currency.
Do you want to go buy coffee, guys?
2008, 231 million percent inflation rate.
This is Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. Its picture is in the currency, and the locals call it the smoke that thunders. It is the world's widest curtain-like waterfall. It is located between two countries, Zimbabwe and Zambia. They are separated by this bridge, which was built over the falls by the British in 1905. The river that flows over it is Zambezi River. In southern Africa, it's called River of Life. It crosses many countries before flowing into the Indian Ocean. Its length is half of that of the Nile River. It crosses the bridge that separates Zambia and Zimbabwe. The waterfall was named after the British Queen at the time, Victoria, because this place was occupied by Britain. But after Britain left and Zimbabwe became independent, the story began, as corruption spread and the currency collapsed. Today we are in the capital city to know more about the currency. 20 trillion. Look, there are a lot of money here. They have no chill. Brother, this is a lot. Man, it's like Monopoly.
Yeah.
The central bank is right behind me, where banknotes are printed. This country suffered a lot. It printed a lot of banknotes. The solution was only printing banknotes. This is $100 million. Can you imagine? They reached to trillion. But this is not used anymore. Instead, they start using the dollar, the US dollar and South Africa's currency. But now, how can they find a solution for this inflation? What will they do? When withdrawing money, you can't. There is a limit. Can you imagine? They have no access to their accounts.
Yeah, they want to collect money.
Which country has the world's currency? It was Hungary in 1945 and 1946.
Hungary, the world record in inflation.
The second country was Zimbabwe. Here, several Arab countries are also suffering from inflation, among other countries in the world, as Sudan ranks third, followed by Lebanon and Argentina. Percentage varies from one country to another, as Venezuela, where we film, has the world's highest percentage. These are the old currencies. Zimbabwe has been the world's second highest inflation until now.
Attempts to say at one point we used $20 trillion notes. So 2009 is one of those historical laws in our country. Hyperinflation, you want to buy bread and, before you reach to the tailor, the inflation would have gone up by, more than 500%. Effectively, yes, on the way, the money that you have in your wallet will effectively be reduced to nothing. So it was one of those historical laws in our country.
Today, we are in Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe. The country concerned the world for many years. When it was Southern Rhodesia, it was ruled by some white supremacists.
We have fought for our sovereignty, small as we are. We have won our independence, and we are prepared to shed our blood in sustenance and maintenance and protection of that independence.
It concerned the world more after gaining independence from Britain, seizing white supremacist farms and properties and give them to black people to manage and operate them.
I'm going to have a reinforcement from Harare to come and take more south.
We have to sell all the Malacca, I suppose, to try and get our money back and this sort of thing, and jump holes and what have you. We'll try and sell all that.
Because black people had no experience in agriculture and large farm management.
The consequence was that a country which was once regarded as the breadbasket of Africa began to starve. Harvests shrank, shelves were empty, and rampant inflation meant currency became virtually worthless.
As a result of US and UK sanctions on Zimbabwe, the country collapsed.
The Western country, in particular the United States and the European Union, who imposed illegal sanctions against Zimbabwe.
US President Donald Trump says sanctions against Zimbabwe will stay in place.
The sanctions have crippled the economy.
These farms, among other economic activities, result with severe economic crisis in the country since its independence in 1980 till today.
We don't want Mugabe, we want the goblin to go. He's a goblin.
Its currency collapsed, reaching astronomical numbers.
$100 trillion.
100 trillion Zimbabwean dollar note.
$100 trillion bill.
Today, Zimbabwe relies on the US dollar, the British pound sterling, and the South African rand.
You take dollars and rands, you take dollar and euro. Would you accept Chinese currency?
The trust in Zimbabwean dollar was lost. Today, inflation in Zimbabwe reached about 250%, which is the highest in the world. Zimbabwe also suffered from semi-permanent power outage. It imports power from neighboring countries, Mozambique, South Africa, and Zambia. In order to restore trust in its currency and make people use it again, Zimbabwe resorted to gold coins sold by the central bank for a specific amount with the local currency. The gold currency can be used anywhere in the world.
The African country had the world's second highest inflation.
Yeah, more and more printing money.
When a country exaggerates in printing its currency, the currency depreciates and commodities prices rise based on the supply and demand. Except the US dollar. Yes, only US dollar cannot be collapsed unless a world war breaks out. In the COVID-19 era, the US printed more than $7 trillion.
Congress just passed a $2 trillion rescue plan to tackle the economic pain the coronavirus is inflicting on the country.
We're going to do something that gets money to them as quickly as possible.
The currency did not fall. But why? The U.S. paid salaries to all Americans. The U.S. can print as much as it wants. In their homes, people got paid, and the U.S. dollar did not fall. But why? Because dollar is the world's strongest currency. The US dollar is the world's favorite trading currency.
A highly popular jingle explaining the new money has been often played over the radio.
I'm very, very rich. I am a billionaire.
How do you get the US dollar? Do you work?
Salary, yeah.
So you receive the money in US dollar?
In US dollar. People want to dollarize. People feel safe keeping the US dollar.
50 trillion! I can't even spell it because I'm not used to this number. 100 trillion. 100 trillion, guys. They printed in 2008. 14 zeros. What is Zimbabwe doing now after using the US dollar for more than 10 years?
Central bank officials say the 22-carat
yes, gold coin
will help protect people's savings against inflation.
They tried to find a solution to restore trust in the old currency. So they minted 2,000 gold coins. You can use gold coins everywhere in the world. They minted the coins abroad, not here. All these 2,000 gold coins were sold. They minted them a month ago. The gold coin was displayed by their president. He displayed it like this. The gold coin was worth about 1,500 US dollar. But you can only buy it with the local currency. Why? To restore trust in the local currency. So they minted 2,000 and they will mint more.
There is no another better product that can be used as a store of value other than gold.
Do you think that this gold coin is the solution? Should the Arab countries do the same?
The gold coin solution, is it like, what do you think about it?
It's confidence that you need first. It's a trust. There has to be mutual trust between the government and the citizens. If there is no that trust, if there is no that confidence, then no solution you can put on the table is going to work. When you bring in a solution, the people are simply going to think that, look, we are getting back to 2008 to an extent that people are even doubting that there is gold in those coins. Funny enough. So people need that confidence. People need to trust the government of the day for them to be able to trust their ideas.
Yes.
Without that trust, whatever solution, genuine as it may be, it will not work. I'll give you an example of Zambia. Zambia was at one point worse than Zimbabwe.
It is a neighboring country.
It need not to be long back, 2-3 years ago. You look at Zambia today, things have changed.
Yeah, corruption it's a pandemic in Zimbabwe. Yeah, it requires everyone on board to fight corruption.